This is how you stretch flavor without stretching your budget. In sticking with the theme of roughly $15 a day, making meals that are approachable, inexpensive, but also healthy, I went shopping at the store looking for deals. I found some andouille sausage that was on sale. I got potatoes here. I got some mushrooms. I got carrots, broccoli, cauliflower. These are the relatively inexpensive items that are always at the grocery store. And I'm gonna throw together a real quick kind of sausage, vegetable, sheet pan bake that we're gonna have for dinner tonight. So I'm gonna show you guys how I go about this. Once again, this is a roadmap, not a specific recipe that you have to follow, but if you understand this process, then you can kind of improvise and add whatever ingredients you like to this. So the base here is gonna be the andouille sausage. That's how we wanna start. So I'm gonna take this sausage and I'm just gonna slice it up, a little bit of a bias because I wanna start to brown this sausage and get it really crispy, in addition to adding flavor to the pan that I'm gonna saute the vegetables in. Now, what we're going to do, as opposed to a traditional sheet pan bake, is that I'm not just gonna throw all of this on a sheet pan and then bake it, because when you do that, you end up with some vegetables that are raw, some vegetables that are cooked all the way through, some that are overcooked, and you don't maximize the flavors. So I'm gonna show you a trick here where we're gonna actually build the layers and the flavors by essentially blanching them through a saute process in a pot, and then we're gonna put it all out onto a sheet pan and we're gonna finish it in the oven. The key when you're cooking is that you wanna put all of your mise en place together in one shot. So I'm actually gonna cut everything in one shot here, and then we're gonna take this party over to the stove. Okay, I'm not gonna use all the mushrooms that I have. I'm gonna save my stems. The other piece is that you want all the ingredients that you're gonna put into this roast to be roughly the same size. So for example, if I start slicing everything into strips, then everything should be sliced into strips. If I cut them into chunks or big pieces, in this case quartered mushrooms, I want everything to be essentially the similar size, because then they're gonna cook the same way. I'm gonna take my broccoli, start to break that down. I'm gonna save this end here for some broccoli slaw later on. I love this broccoli stem. It caramelizes really nicely when you roast it. So this is gonna go into the roast as well. And this is a great way to get your kids to eat more vegetables, is by adding meat. So the andouille sausage has a ton of flavor, smokiness in there with the pork meat. We got some cauliflower. We're gonna make sure they're all roughly the same size as well. Now our potato, all right, because that's gonna be our starch here. I'm just gonna take this down, probably give it the old peel. Use my bench scraper to clean this up. Now I'll take these potatoes down in a similar size as I did the andouille sausage, right? So I'll just cut them on a bias like that. Those will cook at around the same time. So the potatoes are gonna take the longest to cook, so we're gonna cook those earliest. And then when we roast everything together, it'll all come together. Now I got a couple carrots I'll add in as well. These are gonna caramelize nicely, and it's also really good for you. One of the things that I talk about when it comes to cooking the carrots, cooking the potatoes, etc., is using ingredients that are whole and not pre-processed. So I don't buy these carrots pre-cut, I don't buy the onions pre-cut, I don't buy the garlic pre-cut. When they pre-processed items at the grocery store, they typically have to treat it with some sort of a salt solution, and in many cases, in the case of the carrots, they actually use like chlorine on the carrots to clean them. So whenever possible, you wanna buy your ingredients whole. Dirty on the outside, all the better, just give them a rinse, then you at least know they're coming straight from the earth. Okay, so now that I have all my ingredients cut and set and ready to rock, I'm just gonna use the, actually for the garlic, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release some of the flavor by crushing them, but I'm not gonna chop the garlic. Almost a garlic perfume in there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to separate all my ingredients onto the sheet pan now. We're gonna cook these all at separate times, so we don't wanna mix them up. We wanna make sure that we can add them in individually. And if your sheet pan is not big enough, just do it in batches and then go back over. So I'll leave my broccoli and my cauliflower over here on the cutting board. I'm gonna add roughly 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in here, just enough to kind of coat the whole bottom of the pan. Let that come up to heat, not too hot. I don't want it to smoke too hard. I just wanna bring it up to a temperature at which we can get a nice sear on the andouille sausage. I'm gonna let the sausage brown on both sides right now. That's a key step here because we wanna build those flavors This is how you can turn a dish from kind of boring and bland to actually adding a ton of flavor by browning things properly, adding them at the right times, layering your cooking, seasoning all the way throughout, finishing with vinegars and fresh herbs. All of those things cost nothing. I mean, except the herbs cost a little bit, but it'll take your dish from ordinary to extraordinary. You guys remember Lauren? She used to be in these videos until she fired me.
I didn't fire you.
Here she is.
I'm
so
here.
excited. I'm making all this. I'm making this for her right now.
Why do you look tall right now?
I'm really tall. I've been lengthening my spine. So there's this machine that I go into in the other room over there where I hang off the ceiling.
It just stretches,
yeah,
decompresses your spine.
You're looking good today.
Really?
All right, we'll go pick up the kids. When you come back, you're gonna have a veggie roast for dinner. That was really weird. Why do you have to do that? Whew. I'm gonna pull the sausage out now.
That's what she said.
We've rendered a little bit of fat from the sausage, ton of flavor in the pan. If you have a question, think about the strength of the vegetable or the starch. What needs to cook longer? Whatever needs to cook the longest goes in earlier. So I don't need to, we don't have to brown these on all sides, but I wanna get them tossed in the fat because that's essential for making sure that when we roast them, that they do get even crispier during the roasting process. Okay, so now we still got a ton of fat in there, that's good. Now we'll add our carrots in. Get a little color on the carrots, get some more salt on there, right? Season it all the way throughout. So now I'm gonna add my mushrooms in with the carrots. The carrots can't really overcook, so I want some of the mushroom juice to steam the carrots. They'll release a little bit of moisture. Plus we'll brown those on the exterior. Now at this point, because the mushrooms have moisture in them, I'm going to cover this for about 1 minute. That's gonna steam. It's gonna create an environment in which the steam is cooking the mushrooms, increasing the temperature, making the mushrooms release some of the moisture. That's also then gonna steam the carrots so that they get even further blanched. Then I'm gonna pull it off. That's when I'll add the garlic and then subsequently the cauliflower and the broccoli just to get tossed in there to cook. And then we're gonna be done with this first step. So now I'm gonna add my garlic. I'm gonna saute that for about 45 seconds until you get some of that garlic perfume. I mean, it smells like a garlic factory in here right now. It smells delicious. So about 45 seconds on that, and then I'll go in with my broccoli and my cauliflower. I'm gonna toss this up with the fat, okay? And this is the second step at which I'm going to cover it. I'm gonna let the broccoli and the cauliflower steam a little bit with the mushrooms and the garlic and the carrots, right? So I'll do this for another minute, and then that's it. After this, we're done with this stage. We're gonna roast it after this. I've got my andouille sausage and my potatoes. I'm gonna mix that in with the broccoli, the cauliflower, the garlic, the mushrooms, and the carrots. We're gonna make sure that they all get tossed together in the fat, and then we're gonna lay it out on the sheet pan and we're gonna bake it in a 400-degree oven for roughly 10 to 12 minutes. You don't wanna put a wire rack over the sheet pan because I want the vegetables to stick to the sheet pan and develop more caramelization. So I'm going directly onto the sheet pan here, spread all of this out. Now I'm gonna throw this into a 400-degree oven. While the vegetables are roasting, I'm gonna make a real simple vinaigrette sauce to go over the vegetables just to take this up another level. I wanna show you guys how easy it is to make a vinaigrette. I always talk about how there's no reason to be spending $5, $6, $7 on vinaigrettes that are chock full of chemicals and seed oils, etc. And the base and what we're gonna use to emulsify this, which is really the way in which a mayonnaise is made, is an egg yolk. I also like the richness from the egg yolk, and it's gonna kind of coat the rest of these vegetables. So I'm just gonna take 1 egg yolk, I'm gonna throw that in the jar, all right? I'm gonna take some champagne vinegar. That's gonna be the base of this, right? So I'm gonna add, somebody left this little top on. So once again, 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1, what have you. This is where you wanna add your flavor at this stage. So I'm gonna add za'atar, which has sumac in it, which is one of my favorite spices. This will go great with the vegetables. A little bit of wild fennel. I got some fresh thyme here, and I'm just gonna add some thyme sprigs into this vinaigrette. And this is where you can add whatever you want. You wanna make it smoky, you wanna make it chili based, add some chili to it. If you wanna make an orange vinaigrette, add orange vinegar or just add orange juice and you can use that as the base. Vinaigrette is one of the most important things that you can start making yourself in the kitchen because it's so easy and it's so inexpensive. So step 1, oh look, it used to be Schmuckers. I'm just gonna mix all this up, right? So this is gonna be the base. So that's just the base of vinaigrette. That's just the egg yolk, the vinegar, and the seasonings. Oh, I didn't add salt. I need to add salt. So we see how much there is. So I'm basically gonna do 2 more parts oil to 1 part vinegar, 2.5, whatever, you know. Taste it yourself. If you like it tart, go 2.5 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. If you want it a little bit more oily with a nice high quality extra virgin olive oil, then go ahead and do 3 to 1. There we go. That's it. There's your vinegar right there, your vinaigrette right there. And this only gets more flavorful with time. Not just time, but time. Time or time? Is it time or time? Time, time. It's got time in it, and it gets more flavorful with time. Look at how quick this was, right? This is easy. So now all we're gonna need to do, you know, if you wanted to add rice to this, you can make rice right now in your rice cooker, but we threw some potatoes in here, so it's got everything in it and of itself. Now we're talking, look at that. So the way in which I know this is done is based on the potatoes. So you want the potatoes to be knife tender, right? You want the knife to be able to perfectly slice through the potato. You don't want them to be overcooked, but you still can tell just by putting the knife in there, you can see that that's incredibly tender. If you cook this properly at the same time, the rest of your vegetables are gonna be perfectly cooked. Cauliflower is one of those vegetables that if you undercook it, it's disgusting. If you overcook it, it's mush. But when you cook it just right, it actually eats really rich, and it's not a bad vegetable. It's bad vegetable. You've been a bad vegetable. I'm gonna toss our vinaigrette into these vegetables, right? So just a little bit at the end. So for those of you that were worried about the raw egg yolk, it's just gonna cook in there. Now I'm gonna mix this up. Just kind of toss that up together. Get that dressing on there. It's kind of rich. It almost takes on a creamy appearance. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some fresh herbs in here. I wanna mix this. Oh, and what a coincidence, chives. Let's do a little rosemary, you know? A little rosemary. She's been nice lately. The reason I'm not gonna garnish with the chives is because I want the flavor of the chives and the fresh herbs inside the vegetables as well. Notice I didn't put onions in with this dish, and that's because I didn't want the astringent flavor of the onion. I knew I'd add some chives or green onions at the end, which gives you that nice aromatic kind of redolent onion flavor without it being overpowering. Now here comes the rosemary. A little bit of rosemary goes a long way, so I'll just mix that in at the end. Nice winter flavor. Once again, you don't need to do too much on the rosemary, so I'm just gonna mix that in there. Look, a lot of chives in there. That's okay. That's okay, we're gonna mix it up. Yep, now we're talking. That's it, nothing too crazy. So I'm just gonna put this, kids are getting excited in the background. For the final piece is, I'm gonna hit this with, oh, there we go. I'm gonna hit this at the end with just a little bit of lemon zest. Ton of flavor in the exterior of lemon, as I've talked about many times before. The way in which I'm gonna finish this vegetable dish now is with pecorino cheese. This is one of my favorite cheeses. This is a sheep's milk cheese that's been aged for a much longer period of time. The cool thing about pecorino is it's incredibly high in protein. So 7 to 9 grams, 10 grams of protein per ounce. It's also easier to digest because it's aged for so long. So that brings the lactose content down. It's got more fat soluble vitamins in the cheese, high in mineral content. So really good. This is like a calcium powerhouse. So really good for you. Because the flavor is so strong, a little bit goes a long way. So I have the problem, I could eat an entire brick of like Swiss cheese or cheddar cheese if I was sitting down with it. This is so strong in flavor that just like 1 ounce and I'm good to go. Although I'd probably eat 2 ounces. So I'm gonna finish the vegetables with a little bit of this pecorino cheese, and it's just gonna take it over the top. It's gonna be a whole nother level. So there we go, right? So this is a real simple, inexpensive weeknight meal, andouille sausage vegetable bake. We've got broccoli, cauliflower, potatoes, the pecorino cheese to finish at the end. We made our own fresh vinaigrette with fresh herbs and white balsamic, no, actually it was white champagne vinegar, white champagne vinegar, but you can make it with whatever vinegar you want. Because of the egg yolk in there, we tossed it in with the vegetables while they were hot, so that egg yolk kind of cloaks over the vegetables. Incredibly rich dish. The potatoes themselves almost eat like rich fries. All of this is probably $1 or $2 a person. The perfect weeknight meal. There you go.